So now that I've finished with my masking, I'm simply going to close all the properties for my clone, and I'm going to look at doing a quick rotoscope. Now, because I've simplified my composition, I'm going to actually rotoscope myself, the original, in this wee demonstration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split the area that I actually want to rotoscope from this original track. So I don't need to rotoscope the whole lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the edit menu. So I've got split layer, Control or Command Shift D, depends on what system you're on. Now I made a mistake here. I've had both layers selected, so let's just back that off. I had no layer selected. I'm going to select my original footage, edit, and split the layer. And now I've got that here. And I'm only going to rotoscope just a few seconds. And so on my duplicate of my original layer, I'm going to split that again. And I'm going to select that middle one. Cool. So it's only just a short clip now. And this is simply for time's sake and also for processing power. I'm going to double click on this clip. What it does is it opens up the layer into its own window here. Once I've done this, I can grab the rotoscoping brush, and if you hold down the command or the control key, you can grow the size of your brush or shrink it by moving your brush left and right or up and down, just basically wiggling your mouse. Wiggle your mouse. The green is going to add to the area, and if you hold down the Alt, it's going to subtract. But at the moment, my playhead is in the middle of my clip. I want it at the beginning, so I'm going to press I to go to the end point of my clip, which is the start point. It'll just make our life easier. I'm also going to zoom in a wee bit because my footage is a bit small. Let's just go into 100, hold the space bar down and drag that into place. Now, depending on your computer power, you may find this is a wee bit of a task, and I'm simply going to draw over myself. And I'm going to hold down the control or command and shrink my brush down a wee bit, and I'm going to pick up that hand and add that in. I've got a little bit of extra in here, so I'm going to hold down the Alt or Option to take that out. And I don't need this stuff down here, and take that out as well. And I don't need this wee gap in here. I'm going to shrink my brush, Control Command drag, hold down the Alt in between. We're getting a bit of a better mask, bit of a mistake on the back here. Take that off. So this is the first frame. We've got a bit of a warning here that I'm not on my full resolution. So that means that it's on the pixelated side. If we go back into here, we can see that we're on thirds. Let's go on to full. And let's go back into here. And that warning has disappeared. If I zoom in a wee bit, you can see that there are some flaws in here. So I'm going to hold down the Alt or the Option. Let's just take out that wee bit. Let's add in my edge of my thumb, shrink my brush, hold down the Alt, and let's go in between there. So you can see it's a bit of a dance. It's like I want this. Maybe I don't want that. Got to remember that I'm viewing this at 400%, which is really close up. So I'm going to use the page down, and that will move forward a frame, and I'm just going to observe how well it is working with my movement. So we can see it's got a wee bit of an error just in my hand again. So I'm going to add in that dark part of my thumb, hold down the Alt and try to get in between. Page down, add a bit in. That's better. Page down. I'm just going to go through, and I'm just accepting that my hand's just got a little bit of an imperfection in there, just for the sake of being fast. And let's zoom out to make sure that we aren't missing anything. So I'm pretty static actually. This is a bit of a boring roto. Here's my face moving, which is good. We can view this under different conditions now. Here's a bit of a clear cut. Wait for it to render. That's pretty cool. I can freeze it so it's not doing calculations anymore. So we can view your footage now like this. As black and white mask. Or as your line cut. When I go back into my composition, now what you see is that I have rotoscoped an area. Let's just close the Roto Brush and refine edge so we can see what's happening. So I'm sitting here, which is great, and then because I've rotoscoped myself, I am just sitting there in transparency until the end of that clip. So what I can do to fix this problem, on that layer while it's selected, I'm going to press O, which is the out point of that layer. I'm going to go back to the original clip and I'm going to extend that out, and if I hold that shift key, it's going to snap onto the playhead. And now what I've got is the exact original footage, except this one is soloing myself, and the bottom one is providing the background, and I've got masking, which has brought in this figure here. Let's just chuck on an effect. Go to effects presets. Let's type in glow, and what we're looking for is a stylized glow, and we can see under the stylized there's a glow. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to chuck this onto this clip. How much of a glow do I want to be? My intensity of my glow. Let's put on some of our tritone. I will often say tricolor. I'm going to bring this above my glow, and I'm going to select my middle color, and let's make this, because it is a mid-tone, I'm going to put the brightness around the 50% and make it a bit of a blue. So the order of this is important. So if I put it, let's just collapse these down to simplify it. So if I put the tone first, there's blue and then the glow. If I put it afterwards, it looks a little bit different. Okay. Cool, so there's my little bit of glow. And that's been reduced to that wee area because I've rotoscoped that area. Cool, that was just a quick wee demonstration. Hopefully that is helpful for those who want to go back over and have a look at some of those features. Okay guys, see you later.